building a business that won't break you. Structure is not a prison. It is the rhythm of liberation. Rituals will help you get there. And I'm, self-proclaimed, like, messy, kind of sloppy person who's not very good at rituals or whatever. But it's the only way to get through it. And it's going to be, like, the greatest thing for you. Work is love made visible. So what you've created, like your work, is like your care and attention towards something. So if you have that dedication to making something beautiful or aesthetic or design wise or like pretty, you have it in you to make your business that way too. And we're going to cherish peace over productivity. You aren't what your output is. That was one of my limiting beliefs, was that like it was valuable if I made a lot of something or made anything at all, or was somebody who produced and is money and is like security and structure. But like we're choosing rituals and boundaries and nourishing like our pace. Like we're nourishing ourselves because nobody else is doing that right now. Like in corporate, can't go back to that 9 to 5 grind at all. It is not for me. I don't know who it is for. I've never met anyone who like thrived in that environment. It's not for humans, and that's probably why like AI is like great to take over some stuff there. Like whatever you do, like it's not for us. We're anti-hustle culture over here. Like freedom is the oxygen of the soul over here. Like create the things you wish existed, and those things will sell. I've bought so much stuff, just every time I buy something, I keep in mind, I'm like, could I make this myself, or like why did this get me instead of some like other version of this? I've purchased like courses from people, digital brushes, like fonts, like creative packages, like Figma templates, and art supplies and stuff like that too. And every time you buy something, like think about it, think about what that person put into it and if you could do it yourself too. I used to think that like if a client wanted a call after hours, like not after hours, but if they wanted to talk at like 9 o'clock at night or something and on the weekends, I was kind of like ready to do it. But after a while you realize like you can just tell them like no, and you could just not answer the phone. I'm a no phone call kind of business. Like texting's fine because I'm okay with texting. And I'm okay with working on the go and working like when I'm on the bus or something or on the ferry, like doing a little bit of work here and there. But like we shouldn't be working so much. And I love to do it for clients, but like when it comes to big corporations, I've changed things, and only to have it be within hours be originally like the same thing that it was. So like all of like if I had just skipped that call like from like a boss or something, like it would have been smarter to just skip that call and not waste time changing things and to change it back or whatever. So, that's protecting your peace, and that's the most important thing. It's protecting your like health and your peace, and like that's like what's great about freedom. But also, sometimes wild horses, when they're let out of the pen, they don't know what to do with all that freedom, right? So once you're out and you're like me and you're like, oh my gosh, like, I'm like, I don't have anything to do. Like, I'm allowed to do whatever I want. I started to do a ritual, like, structure for the day, which is, like, part of the day is making art, part of the day is emails, and part of the day is, answering emails and, like, working on, like, active projects, and part of the day is, like, active design and stuff. Honestly, like design doesn't take that long anymore. Figma basically changes everything, and AI helps a little bit, and honestly it just never took that long. I don't know what we were doing like in that 9 to 5, but it was mostly like everyone's indecision of not being able to come to like a conclusion. So when you're working for a project, they kind of know that they're getting billed hourly and stuff, and they're just like, oh my gosh, like I just need this project to be done. So a lot of the time they probably are like taking my work apart later, but that's whatever. I got paid already. And like I try to do that structure in order, but when the emails part, like the pitching part, like kind of marketing part, I try to do that while on the go, to just have part of my day be like a lovely day outside, like walking in the park. And the marketing part of it is something I do also in Metricool, and I have all of it like scheduled. You can schedule every kind of social media post in there up to whenever, but I do like a few months in advance, so I'm not having to worry about posting or something. Like that's something that Metricool can take care of, and it's free actually, and that helps me a lot. Let me know below if you have any other suggestions. Like, it's just so good for your body. Like, nourishing business is like the kind of business I want to run, and I do want to start hiring people too to kind of like take over projects and stuff, and it would be kind of cool to take over pitching to clients and taking like meetings and stuff and doing my 3 package thing with them and seeing how that goes and like teaching somebody something new about how to have their own business that way. Maybe I'll try to do a YouTube video about that someday. Comment below if you want me to. But like, my dream workflow would be like 4 hours a day so that I could do exercise class too every day. Oh my gosh, that would be ideal. I would just wake up and the first thing you do when you wake up is how you're gonna set the tone for your day. So if the first thing I did when I wake up was yoga meditation, that would be really smart. It never is, but I'm just saying that would be so cool if I did that. And then if I created art in those first few moments, like if I worked on the painting that I'm working on or this illustration series or surface design series of art I want to license, I would be over the moon if I could do that as well, because I start to get into a groove and a flow state of either design or like analog painting and stuff, and like even Procreate's part of like my analog painting. So I kind of end up picking one for the day, but ultimately I'd love to pick both and like see what happens. Spread out like, you know, just for an hour or so. Sometimes you can get hyper focused and start to like work too much. But when you have your own business, like I do, you kind of do like a 12-hour day sometimes and then nothing for like 4 days. So it's kind of something that works for me, but I don't know if everyone else agrees. But it's kind of nice to have like those real breaks and you don't have to worry about your Monday through Friday kind of thing anymore. And, you know, it avoids that burnout cycle because you have to have a system of like starts and stops here. Like you have to be like, all right, that's enough, like too much. And sometimes you have like a bad client or something that's like triggering like your memories of the olden times of like changing and like all that stuff. And I do try to have that written into contracts about changes, like iterations. And with illustration, sometimes, you know, that can happen where they just want more sketches. They just can't like decide. They can't say like it's okay. And I think that the person who's saying that's usually somebody who's like a failed illustrator themselves. Nobody's a failed anything, by the way. You could just do it. Like, so, you know, when you heard somebody in the like old movies say like, I'm a failed artist, you're not really, you're just, you know, an artist. Like, nobody's failed, because the next time you've created art, like, you're an artist again, you know? And there's no metric here, you know? If you kind of want to do illustration, like, don't take it out on me. Like, please start doing illustration.